Hello, BH veterans. It is end of June 2021, and we are just days from BHSpringSolutions.com's 6-year anniversary. And on July 4th, 2015, we had a different kind of Independence Day planned that year, and each year since, because that's the day that we turned on BHSpringSolutions.com for the first time. Prior to that, for about 1 year, my partner Slaven Bruchiev and myself, we had been selling BH Spring Solutions products, what very few products we had at that time, which was a few complete spring kits, a couple tools, and a few pairs of grips. And we had been selling these on Gunbroker and on eBay for about a year prior to BHSpringSolutions.com going live, and we had a lot of great help from folks on the 1911 forum. So a big hello and thank you to you guys. For our 6-year anniversary, we have listened to BH veterans, and the thing we've had requested a couple of times is, why don't you put more of your components all packaged up? And believe it or not, we thought we were packaging everything up a lot, but you know, the question was a legitimate one, and so that's what we've just decided to do. This is the BHAdvanced high power package, and this is not everything that BH Spring Solutions has designed and has for the high power for upgrades, but this does include some of them, and a little bit of this is going to be a walk down memory lane of the last 6 years, because like I said before, when we opened 6 years ago, we had a handful of spring kits, and the reason we did, I still remember, was both my partner and I, we had learned from our own experience, especially with the high power pistol, that we had seen amazing correction of problems in our handguns with replacement of springs. Then we learned later that the high power pistol is heavily dependent on the integrity of the springs inside the handgun for regulating everything, and so that was one of our very first products. This new package starts with, you're going to be replacing out all springs in your high power, so that's included. The BH Spring Solutions, formerly RDIH Fast Safety or SFS system for high power. Those of you who don't know what that is an upgraded operating system for your high power. FN installed 5,000 of these kits on their own factory high powers in 2003 and 2004. One of the greatest testaments of this system was the Browning Service Department manager, who told me on a call one day that, because I asked him, Browning was the company required to service any of those FN high powers that had the SFS system on them that were imported into the U.S. And I asked him, I said, how many of those have you seen that needed a part replaced or anything like that? And he goes, I don't remember one. And this was 3-4 years ago now, when I asked that question. We've found it to be an incredibly resilient system that does not work against itself in any way, and that system allows you to carry the high power just like this. When you pull the safety off, the weapon is ready to fire. When you go on safe, you just push the hammer forward, the safety's cam up. When you're in this condition and a round is in the chamber, your slide is locked, your hammer is locked, your trigger is locked. There's multiple different safeties engaged, and this adds a hammer drop safety, by the way, that your high power traditional operating system does not have. And when simply pulling off that safety, just like that, cocks the hammer, and all of those safeties that I just mentioned are all deactivated, and the weapon at that point is ready to fire. That system in the tactical version with the convertible ambidextrous magazine catch is included in this package. It can be ambidextrous or not. That is included. The BHAdvanced trigger subassembly with magazine eject assist for Browning high powers and the clones, that is included. 4 different trigger return springs allows you to control your trigger brake weight plus or minus a half a pound from each heavier or lighter spring. Has magazine eject assist. That's going to help your magazines actually leave the pistol instead of staying in, like with the old magazine disconnect. We've included all the tools that you need. The BH Tool Solutions high power 2-step trigger pin removal solution and 5 more pin punches. These are the exact pin punches that are necessary to do this conversion of the SFS, the springs, and the trigger in your high power. We've included in the package our high power firing pin retaining plate removal tool and installation tool. We call that an RPT. For retaining plate tool, we've also included extractor pin and sear lever pin. Those are roll pins. Sometimes they split when you're reintroducing them back in. You have those also included, and 2 brand new Metgar magazines, a 13 rounder and a 15 rounder. And that's what's included in this package. Everything you need to change out your springs, convert to SFS, and install the new BHAdvanced trigger subassembly. And to just give you an idea of what that does with respect to an older high power, everything that we've talked about, first of all, every spring in the high power is replaced with this package, but everything in your trigger subassembly, you'll reuse your trigger pin, but everything in your trigger subassembly is replaced with the new BHAdvanced trigger. That is the trigger that has more of a straight back trigger pull profile to it compared to the original high powers trigger, it is a wide or an extra wide trigger. It just resolves so many things in the high power, along with the SFS system, the hammer forward carry system, which is a superior sear and hammer tooth relationship. Everything in the rear of your grip frame is going to be replaced with new, with the exception of one part. That would be the ejector right here. So everything in the grip frame is replaced with this package. You can pick up a new ejector and you have every component in the grip frame at that point replaced with the package as well. You can add to this package the BHAdvanced barrel for high power. Has quickly become the premier barrel for high power pistols. A nice shout out to our partner company EFK Fire Dragon for being the manufacturer for us of this barrel design. It has just consistently outperformed everything we've put it up against, and it's been wonderful. You can add that on at the time of your purchase of the entire package. The package itself is a significant savings compared to buying all of these components individually, and so that's one thing. You can purchase everything you need to do this conversion and this package or this suite of conversions all here in this BHAdvanced high power package. On further down the listing for this product at bhspringsolutions.com, you're going to see the remaining components that are not included in this package that are in your high power pistol. One of those components for high powers, this package does not replace the recoil spring guide rod. This is BH Spring Solutions buffering recoil spring guide rod that has a shock absorber spring inside, helps to buffer the back end collision of your sliding frame at the back of recoil. You can find the link right there in the listing. Just scroll down and you'll see a list of things not included in this package that we also can help you with. This or an OEM replacement recoil spring guide rod that is available from BH Spring Solutions. We talked about the barrel, the extractor, firing pin retaining plate, and we already talked about the ejector. Those items are not included in the package, nor is a sear lever. Those are all items that are available at BH Spring Solutions. and you have the option for that. I want to also talk about one other thing that we have is we have a Picatinny Rail. This Picatinny Rail is installable on high powers and 1911s. We have a drilling tool jig that is a free overnight rental to you, and it helps you drill the mounting holes and thread tap them for the mounting screws. Creates a very professional presentation as well. You will be seeing very soon a new product that we have decided to call BHAdvanced Night Ops for high power on all Picatinny Rail pistols. But I enjoy that Picatinny Rail because I use it, and I use it for this. And it's thumb actuated light advantage, but all my controls are still accessible. I can do everything one-handed with this high power. One of the things we're very, very proud of at BH Spring Solutions is the modifications that we have that are exclusive to BH that really bring the high power pistol into the 21st century. 6 years ago, we didn't have a thought of having a service department. Today we have the BH Custom Shop Service Department, where we do installs of BH components and optimizations on high powers 1911s. And high powers are the big contingency of the traffic. We see some 1911s from time to time as well, because we have this same hammer forward carry for the 1911s as well, and I have it on my own 1911s. Fantastic system, works the same way as this. Hammer forward carry, pull the safety off, and the hammer is cocked and ready to fire. In the last 6 years and our advancements of products for the high power pistol, we've also managed to create a menu of optimizations for the 1911s, the CZ75s, the Makarov pistols, the Walther PPKs, and today we're back talking about a high power package here that has really been the high power package that we believe that BH veterans have been asking for, and it's also for us, it's a trip down memory lane for the past 6 years, and where we came from and where we've been. And for those of you BH veterans who have followed us for years now, on behalf of all of us at BH Spring Solutions, we thank you. Your support, your enthusiasm about what we do is the reason we've been able to keep going. It's the reason we exist. It's the reason that any of this is possible. That 6 years ago we had a few spring kits and a few tools and a few grips, and it's only been BH veterans who have made this possible for BH Spring Solutions to exist in the form that we do today. And one other observation I wanted to share with you that comes to mind as we're talking about this package is these are components, springs that we are installing now on a near daily basis in our service center. We have incredible turnaround times today in and out of our shop. And I think one of the primary reasons is because for example, every high power pistol that comes through gets everything inspected, every pin, part, component, everything. And then we reassemble many times in the case of the high power with almost all BH parts and components inside. And the one thing that has made that part of BH Spring Solutions what I would call viable is that the farther we have gone with the high power pistol, now being only about four internal parts shy of being able to build out from bare frame and bare slide the entire handgun, is the farther we've gone and the closer we've gotten, the better our test results at our service center have become. And what I mean by that is the farther we have gone with advancing the high power pistol design, the more that we now go out and test fire serviced firearms and everything runs exactly perfect. We still have those moments where, something, this is the reason why you do live fire testing when you service handguns, is until you have tested it, until you've really shot it, until you've really observed the extraction and done the measurements and the calculations, until you have done that, you don't ever know that something is going to function perfectly. And today, thank goodness, it is very rare for us to need to walk back in the shop and start chasing down any kind of a stoppage or a malfunction or something that is not the typical. It's always going to happen. These things are machines, but the instances of that today at our service center are extremely rare, and I think that's another thing we have to be thankful for, that these components that are now BH Spring Solutions components, and the ones that we have designed and brought to market, really do what we claim they do, and it's just being reproven to us now, just on an almost daily basis in our service center, because the results are predictable and they're consistent, and they are just the best of the best, we believe, for what the high power pistol has ever been, and that's what we're gunning for. So this is a snapshot of the things that have happened in the last 6 years, but this new BHAdvanced high power package, in its form for our 6th anniversary, this is a snapshot of how far BH Spring Solutions has come in 6 years. BH veterans, we hope that you're excited about the future as we are, because we are. There's more yet to come. Thank you for following us. Thank you very much for your friendship, your patronage, your loyalty, and your encouragement. On behalf of my partner, Slav Baruchiev, and all of the staff at BHSpringSolutions.com,